I have an online sales training course at mazersalestraining.com, and I've recorded myself selling over 200 real door-to-door deals with real people. Now, all of them have been informed that they're being recorded. The one consent, two consent laws, we go over all that. But basically, I have recordings of everything. All the information's edited out. So, there's no sensitive information there, but a kid can go on there and learn how to sell door-to-door because I show them.
Yeah.
Second thing is go to my Instagram. I have a lot of funny reels. Okay. I share a lot of value there, but I'm also just a goofball. I have a lot of fun, get to see a little bit about our life. And then third, go on my YouTube page because I actually have full episodes of what it looks like to sell in the day in the life of a door-to-door guy. And I show just enough to where you want to buy the course,
That's cool.
So it's helped out thousands of kids have their best summers of their entire career with just the free stuff. I do a role play group that you've seen on Instagram. I do that every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for now, and role play with kids every day to help tweak their pitch so that they actually sell deals and they don't lose them on the doors.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm on with Austin Mazer. Austin is a veteran in the home services space, pest control in particular. Actually just saw on Instagram you were doing one of your live trainings. You were and doing a Q&A session. Austin is a door-to-door machine, and I've seen some of his role plays and stuff on Instagram. And I met him through Andy Elliott's Brotherhood, and just wanted to have him on the podcast because he's got so much personality. So I'm excited to have him on the show. Austin, man, tell us a little bit of your story.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, brother. So I did door-to-door sales I've done door-to-door sales for the last 7 years. I came back home from my LDS mission in 2017, was at BYU, saw all of these door-to-door guys just driving Lamborghinis. And I was like, this is freaking crazy. How are these college students affording to buy these crazy cars? I never actually looked into it. I finished my career at BYU as a cheerleader. And, I happened to study school there. I pretty much just went there because I wanted to do cheerleading. And as I was dating my wife towards the end of college, I realized I needed to find a job that could provide a really, really cool lifestyle. I promised my wife we were going to make it big and she would never have to work a day in her life because I was going to go be a door-to-door salesman. Well, we got married. I sold her on the vision. And then I did door-to-door and I quit and I cried. I came home bawling my eyes out. I've tried solar originally and I just was unable to close deals. Okay. So we're at this moment in our life where we moved to Georgia because my wife was a professional weightlifter aspiring to do the Olympics in Paris at the time. And I was applying to Cracker Barrel and Costco and Home Depot. I could not get a freaking job to save my life. And I knew of some guy at BYU who was a wide receiver, Mitch Matthews. And I had the guy's phone number. I said, dude, I heard you have a pest control company out here in Georgia somewhere. And he's like, yeah, dude, plug in. Let's get you there. So I told my wife, hey, I'm going to try this door-to-door thing again. And she looked at me dead in the eyes and she goes, yep, you can do it. Just please do not come home crying this time. Figure it out. And so that was the inception of my door-to-door career in pest control. I ran it up with Anthem Pest Control out here in Georgia. And within 2 years, I received a Golden Door Award. That's this award right behind me, the wooden one with the fox head on it. I did 1,067 accounts in just 4.5 months. So I was
Wow.
averaging over 200 accounts a month, with months up to 250 accounts,
What
82
what's
accounts in a
what's a
week.
very average guy doing, Austin? I'm clueless on door to door stuff. What's
Oh,
average?
dude, your average guy, like, let's just say you sign up for the summer and you're a rookie. If you do like 150 accounts, you're like, wow, dude, really
Yeah.
good job. Great
Yeah.
first summer. So, and if you're a heavy hitter, it's like, wow, you did 500 accounts. And then there's freaks that are doing 1,000 plus. And that's what I did. And it was freaking awesome. I think that's why I like being in the Elliott group, because everybody there is psychotic in the best way possible. Psychotic
Yeah.
about their relationship with God, fitness, and their family. But I was just cut from that cloth of like, I'm going to go all in when I do something. And I started out very, very average though. I was doing maybe 1 to 3 accounts a day. And then I put a lot of pressure in my life. Like I became a father, I became a father. We had our daughter come into the world. Like it was the biggest blessing in my life. We have another daughter named Francesca now. We got 2 daughters. But all that to say, I was able to level up through training. And that's why I've dedicated my entire career to training young sales reps. What you saw on Zoom, Instagram Live was an example of one of my role play calls where I role
Hmm.
play with young men daily. So I've dedicated my entire career to training. I run Mazer Sales Training now because I want other young men to be able to have that hockey stick curve in their career so that they can be a very available husband and father. Like I live a beautiful life because I went all in door to door sales. And it's
Yeah.
it's the coolest career ever. I love it.
This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions, they help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. What's up, everybody? This podcast is sponsored by Grimes Financial Advisors. You've spent time and energy building a successful business, but here's the question. Do you have a real retirement plan or just a pile of investments? Our friends at Grimes Financial Advisors specialize in helping business owners and families create a clear roadmap for retirement through their proprietary retirement blueprint. Instead of focusing only on investments, they look at the entire picture: income planning, taxes, long-term care, legacy planning, and making sure your money is actually working for the life you want to live. I've gotten to know Dustin personally. One of the things that I respect most about him is he believes every financial decision should fit into a bigger plan. You shouldn't just chase returns. So whether you're 5 years from retirement or simply want a second opinion on your financial strategy, I highly recommend reaching out to Dustin and his team. Visit Grimes Financial Advisors to schedule your consultation and start building your own retirement blueprint. Can we talk about door to door for a second? Because I feel like I've done everything from a sales perspective: cold calling, networking. And when I first started interviewing roofers, pest control guys, my mind was blown, Austin, that door to door is like still a thing in an age of digital marketing. And the guys that do it, they rip, like they absolutely crush. But the other part of me is like, is there a better way to acquire clients? Like, are those two things in tension or not?
I think you should just do both. I think for
Yeah.
pest control specifically, if I
Yeah.
want to have tight route density, then I'm going to go on a street and I'm going to sign up 10 customers, and
Gotcha.
that route is so dense. Marketing's fantastic, but marketing is typically used to backfill a company after they've had rapid growth through door to door. Because if
Okay.
I have all these tight routes on a map, then I can backfill it with marketing and help with fall off. Like every year, accounts attrit and they fall off. And so you need to have marketing to backfill that. That's what a lot of door to door companies do. They start with door to door and then they have marketing pile on top of that to make their routes even more dense. So
Yeah.
I think it's great to do both, but door to door is the fastest way to scale a home service, period, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
This podcast is sponsored by Action Coaching. If you're a home service business owner, ask yourself this: are you constantly chasing new leads or just keeping the business growing? Ben Jordan built a $100 million plumbing and HVAC company. Inside the Action Group, he teaches contractors how to create recurring revenue, strengthen leadership, improve sales, and build systems that reduce the owner's day-to-day involvement. Members get weekly coaching, practical templates, proven scripts, and strategies designed specifically for home service businesses. If you want to get out of the truck, build something that runs without you and creates real wealth, check out the Action Group on School and book your free consulting call. So when you coach, do you coach, is most of your clientele pest control guys, or do you coach roofers, solar, home security?
Okay, so solar took my soul. So I have not gone back into solar. Okay, I just stay far away from it. but I learned sales from an alarm salesman. So a lot of my style is kind of like those OG alarm guys. By the way, they're wizards with sales. But to answer your question, I have really niched out home services, such as like small ticket, high volume home services. So pest control is obviously what I'm like. No one trains pest control better than me. And then I've done window cleaning camps. I have sold fiber internet door to door, and we even did a car detailing episode on YouTube. So anything low ticket, high volume, we can sling just because it's just a home service. I frame everything as a utility bill. I've not touched roofing or solar yet. But guys, I always tell guys, it's like sales are sales, people are people, and doors are doors. Once you understand why people buy, then you can help them, buy a roof. Mark from Brotherhood wants to go knock roofs with me, and I'm like, great. I don't have a beard or a big truck, but I feel like those are requirements to do roofing. But
Do you
I can
take
go over there.
peptides and lift a lot? I mean, I feel like that's the other thing they all have.
Dude, I love lifting. We do all the lifting every single day.
Yeah.
We've got a garage gym, and it's freaking dope, dude.
I'm in my garage
Like,
gym right now. So
dude,
love
you've
that.
got a sick gym.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah,
Welcome to Fat Boy Fitness Global Headquarters. So
Fat Boy Fitness.
yeah. The fat
Let's.
stands for faithful, available, teachable, like in the Bible. So
Hey, I like that a lot.
yeah. What about no soliciting signs? Isn't that just the trump card? Don't most people just put those on their houses?
So a lot of those are left from when the house sold. I mean, people don't take those down. They're just there eternally. Okay.
Right.
The other thing you got to remember is if somebody put that there, they probably didn't put that there knowing like, oh, I'm going to say no to the pest control guy, or I'm doing this because I don't want to have a bug free home. Like they when they put that there, it's almost just tradition. I think there are some people that are like, hey, did you see the sign? And I just listen to them, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like I saw the sign. Listen, we're doing the pest control. Do you guys want to sign up or no? And I'm very cordial with people. Like I'm never rude. Because if they don't want me there, I'll dip, whatever. But generally speaking, what I'm trying to get at here is that people put it there and they forget about it. Most people are open to hearing you pitch. If
Mm-hmm.
you can come to the door and connect with them like another human being. Like that is what I teach.
What are the legalities around the nonsense? Aren't there laws? Like technically, could someone just be a total a-hole and be like, I have a no solicit sign, like don't bother me, you know?
Yeah, and they call the cops, and the cops show up and they say, hey, you should leave. And then you just pivot and go to a different hood.
And that's it. There's no tickets, there's no jail, there's nothing crazy
I
like
mean,
that.
I've got a couple of buddies that have gotten mug shots, but it's like whatever, it's fun. But dude, I mean, think about your average policeman and the stuff they deal with. Do you really think they're going to be pissed off if some bald dude is riding around like a mall cop on a Segway? Dude, it's just like, dude, just get out of here. Go to a different hood. We call it, go to a different neighborhood. We just call it hood. So like, go to a different hood, right?
I've got my one wheel. Why don't you guys use one wheels? Why Segways?
A lot of guys use one wheels now.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I was in the generation of the Segway S Plus. It's like this massive white Segway that weighs 45 pounds. And now they have these Segways that are just way faster. The battery lasts longer. They're called Segway S2s. But I mean, everybody's ripping Segways for the most part. They're easier to go up and down curbs. I've got guys that swear by one wheels, but I'm a Segway guy. Well, now I just walk because I gained so much weight through door to door because all I did was ride these Segways. And now I like to get my steps in. And when I'm coaching camps for all these companies, because I'll fly across the country, I've flown everywhere and every single region in the United States. Most of the reps don't have segues. So I just walk with them. I teach them between
Yeah.
doors. Hmm.
What are you seeing? I mean, dude, we were talking earlier. Pest control is without question my favorite home service. What trends are you seeing with pest control broadly? And I'm curious to know, like, with AI influencing the industry, where do you feel like that is applicable in sales?
A lot of pest control companies have used AI to like simplify routes, to help with the back end of things. I think there's been people talking about AI robots spraying houses. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but maybe it will. Maybe I'll be wrong. I think AI has definitely like helps the industry a ton when it comes to like welcome calls to make sure customers know what they're signing up for. But I truly don't think door to door will ever be replaced because as we lean more into AI and more into that like robotic stuff, no one can replace a human conversation. I don't care how good an AI robot is, you can't you can't replace human connection like person face to face. So the future of pest control, it'll always be a home service. Bugs are never going away. It's why home services are fantastic because homes will always exist and there'll always still be, there's always going to be bugs. There's always like in HVAC, stuff like that. There's always going to be problems with HVAC. There's always going to be windows that need to be cleaned. I mean, it was during the recession of 2008, pest control was one of the industries that did not take a hit
Mm.
because it was recession proof. There's always bugs.
Dude, you do not have to preach to me on pest control. I love
Oh yeah.
pest control. I just love it.
Yeah.
And what is it with all you guys being Mormon? All you guys are LDS. Like, it's got to be over 50% of the industry. Is it just they come back from mission, they're great
I
at
think,
rejection, and
I
like,
mean, every single pest control hub is in Utah.
yeah,
And you think about it, dude, I knocked doors in Chile for my mission for
really,
2 years. And
yeah,
yeah, we knocked doors in Chile and I taught people about Jesus and it was fantastic. And so if I'm able to talk to people about Jesus for 2 years and get told no and get told to F off and get told to get off my porch, then I mean, how much easier is it to sell pest control? So a
yeah,
lot of us already know how to talk to people because we did 2 years straight of missionary work and door knocking. And so the transition into pest control makes sense because we already know how to track. We call it prospecting or tracking, right? Um, and all of the company's headquarters are in Utah. So like Aptive, let's see, other big ones, Grit, there's EnviroGuard, there's Fox, like all of these other big companies are there, and every single smaller company is there too. So I probably missed a couple big company names, but those are like the big companies that are there. And yeah, you basically get home from your mission, and you probably end up recruiting a couple buddies from your mission, and that's kind of what happens. So I never chose the recruiting route. I just got into door to door after I was married out of
yeah,
pure desperation. You either get into door to door out of inspiration or desperation. I just freaking needed a job to provide for my wife. But yeah,
yeah. I love it. Two more questions. I always
yeah.
ask pest control guys. I know you're doing more training these days, but my favorite question for pest control guys is, what's the worst pest you've dealt with? You know, I've had a guy on recently. The Joro spiders are freaking me out in Georgia. I had to Google those. The Lone Star tick in Long Island, that freaks me out. You know, you can't eat meat anymore. Um, just cockroaches come up a lot. Box elder bugs. Like, what's the most unique or weird or scary type of pest you've dealt with?
This will be one you haven't heard before, probably. That's the only reason I'll share this one. Maybe you have heard this. In Georgia, during April, I believe, we get these waves of ladybugs and
Mm,
they'll infest windows. So it's
mm,
not the weirdest or the scariest, but it's not the scariest, but it is very weird. It's like, why are there ladybugs everywhere? So that's one that I've run into. Obviously, the nastiest one is the German roach. That they're disgusting. I mean, they'll
yeah,
totally infest homes.
yeah.
And then you
Bed
already know
bugs,
about Zero Spider. The Zero
bed bug.
Spiders are insane.
Dude, the Joro spider is my new fear. I've looked them up. I've watched videos. I had a pest control guy in Georgia on, and he's like, the chemicals aren't legal yet. Like, you can't
You can
really
knock their legs
truly,
down.
yeah, can't really kill them. So
Hmm.
yeah. And it's like
Those are
it's like getting stung by a wasp, he said, pretty much what it
They're
feels like.
they're coming right now. They're about to you're going to be able to drive down the interstate, and on the power lines, you'll see yellow webs that have just overtaken the power lines, and they're thick yellow webs. They typically do not bite you unless you are like aggravating them. They're really docile insects. But I guess I've never been bit. I didn't even know that they bit, but I heard that yeah, great. That sucks. Sounds like they hurt.
Well, it's something we haven't talked about today that you get fired up about, man. And I'd love to have you back on. What you're a pretty passionate guy. What haven't we talked about?
Mm, I love being a dad. So I lost my dad while I was serving my LES mission out in Chile. When I was about a year and a half into my mission. When I was a year into my mission, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. A year and a half in, he passed away. And so I've had this really interesting journey post mission of when I came home, I really didn't want to ever talk about my dad. I really was closed off about it. And a lot of good came from that because I was just putting my head down. I wanted to work hard. When I started opening up and realizing how important it was to be a good father, um, I made a lot of shifts in my life. Like I was really go, 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 go. And then I took my daughter to my dad's tombstone and I saw my daughter there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's gone. And so I started making a lot of pivots in my life and prioritizing my family. So the one thing we haven't talked about is just family and being a dad. Like I love being a dad more than anything in the world. It is the
Yeah.
best.
Amen.
And obviously I have a very supportive wife, but I just think if there's one thing, because I know we want to keep this fast, if there's one thing that we talk about, because I know you work with a lot of business owners, is just to never neglect that role as a father.
Yeah.
Because there's no success that can compensate for failure in the home. If you're failing in the home, and Andy talks about this all the time. If you're failing in the home, who cares if you made $1 million or 2 million or 1 billion? It just doesn't freaking matter. Like
Yeah.
I'm here on earth to bring my wife and kids back to God and to lead them and to be a good example and to love them. And so if there's one thing we haven't talked about, which I think is the most important with all this, we're all like business athletes, man. We're entrepreneurs that are athletes and in a way we're trying to grow and build and hit new goals. It's like, dude, never lose sight of what's most important with God, taking care of yourself and taking care of your family in the whole journey.
Amen, dude. You know, it's interesting in the blue collar space. One of my favorite things, and this has inspired me, Austin, the blue collar guys all mastermind pest control, especially like with Jonas and the Pest Control Millionaires and Pest Cemetery and the conferences. Y'all are so like, you share so much, which I love. HVAC, plumbing, electrical, they all do it too. Yeah, it inspired me with my virtual assistant staffing company. I was like, why am I not talking to other VA companies? I never run into them. So we should be masterminding and sharing ideas. And there's like a return in a way in the blue collar space to like caring about your body. I think probably 30 years ago, the generations before us just abused their bodies, you know, and like got fat, bad marriages to get their businesses to work because there weren't these kind of cultures of becoming a better person. And now there's a return to that, all like the 10X and the home service freedom and all these things. And I don't know, I think it's pretty cool what God is doing in the blue collar space. I think that's where the next big movement of the Lord is coming. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Where can people go if they want to learn more, if they want to hop into one of your trainings? Like what's the actionable next step people can take?
I have an online sales training course at mazerSalesTraining.com, and I've recorded myself selling over 200 real door-to-door deals with real people. Now, all of them have been informed that they're being recorded. The 1 consent, 2 consent laws, we go over all that. But basically, I have recordings of everything. All the information's edited out. So, like, there's no sensitive information there. But a kid can go on there and learn how to sell door-to-door because I show them.
Yeah.
Second thing is go to my Instagram. I have a lot of funny reels. Okay. Like I share a lot of value there, but I'm also just a goofball. I have a lot of fun, get to see a little bit about our life. And then third, go on my YouTube page because I actually have full episodes of what it looks like to sell in the day in the life of a door-to-door guy. And I show just enough to where you want to buy the course, you know?
That's cool.
So it's helped out thousands of kids have their best summers of their entire career with just the free stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I do a role play group that you've seen on Instagram. I do that every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for now. And role play with kids every day to help tweak their pitch so that they actually sell deals and they don't lose them on the doors. But yeah, best way is Instagram and YouTube. You'll be able to get a good pulse on me.
What's the most interesting little piece of hate that you've gotten on? So I wonder if people comment and they're just like, this is so stupid. Why are you doing this? Door to door is dumb. You get anything like that on Instagram or any of the places?
Yeah. I mean, you have your average reel. Like if I have a reel go viral, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time they're reels of people telling me to F off or stuff like that. Or maybe there's a reel that I talk about. The other day, a reel went viral because I was talking about how someone told me to F off and how it's okay. Like that man was going through something in his life and I don't know what his life looks like. And he let it out on me, and that's okay. Like, you never know what's going on in people's lives. In door to door, it's kind of a sacred role, a sacred job, because you're meeting people where they're at. And I never want to be the guy to take a dig at somebody. So, anyways, I don't want to make somebody's bad day worse. Okay. So I made a reel about that. It went semi viral. And there's people on there that are like, hey, bro, just don't knock on my door. Or people that say awful things like, if you knocked on my door, I'd shoot you, whatever. But dude, I hurt people. Who cares? Like, those people that reach out, like same thing on the doors, people who lash out on the internet typically have some insecurity and they're lashing out. I mean, I know Andy Elliott because I made a reel making fun of him and I had an insecurity about my body. And I was like 50 pounds overweight from what I am right now. And I made a reel making fun of them. And that's how I got looped into the Brotherhood.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that story.
Oh, dude, backfired on me pretty hard in the best way. But
I'd like to do that with Dave Ramsey, something similar.
Do it, man. Oh yeah, it gets their attention. I mean, they got Andy's attention, and everybody in the Brotherhood watched it. That everybody in the Lions Den was watching it. They're all laughing at me though, because it was like super overweight, making fun of. I did a skit where I'm like, "Hey, dude, yeah, we'll get you going. Go ahead and sign right here." And I did a skit where a customer gave me a spousal objection, and I was like, "Take your shirt off. The reason you can't make a decision is because you're fat and you don't have a six pack." And I was fat and I didn't have a six pack. Now I am lean and with a six pack. But Andy called me out and he's like, dude, go get a six pack and we'll talk. Because I challenged him to go door to door. And on November 20th, Andy and I will be knocking doors in Arizona and we're going to get all YouTube. It's going to be fantastic. Andy's speaking at my event in Utah on March 3rd.
I cannot imagine. I would poop my pants if Andy Elliott came to my door. I'd be like, dude, whatever you want me to buy, I'm buying it. Sure.
Yeah, his pitch is non-traditional. I've heard it for pest control. And what's so funny is in sales, certainty sells. So you know this already, but like Andy's so convincing because he's so confident. And so, yeah, like it's going to be hilarious. Like we're really excited. It's going to be fun. And we're both going to be riding on Segways, shirtless, jacked. It's going to be fun. But I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, overall, man, just people who reach out, people who lash out and hurt other people are typically just hurt people.
Yeah.
And I've learned too that, if I put myself out there, someone's going to say something bad about me, but that doesn't need to distract me from my mission to impact the entire pest control industry.
Amen.
Within the next year, Mazer Sales Training will be the gold standard for sales training. I mean, forget about making your own training program. Why not just use mine if it like mine's the best? So just use mine. So that's where we're headed.
Awesome. Well, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast. I'll probably want to have you back on in a couple months. Thanks for coming on the show. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the show.
Yes, of course.